So, liebe Leute von heute, herzlich willkommen zurück hier bei Genshin Impact für die PlayStation 4. Hier an der Grenze zum Wüstengebiet, was dann höchstwahrscheinlich wohl wirklich erst in Version 3.1, naja, betretbar sein wird. Denn wenn wir jetzt hier über die Matsutake-Pilze fliegen werden in das Wüstengebiet, dann werden wir gleich hier auch wegteleportiert. Die Gegend sehen wir uns am besten später an. Oh ja, da werden wir einfach wegteleportiert zu den Pilzen. Okay, in diesen Fällen sind es natürlich Gesteinspilze. Natürlich, nichts mit Matsutake. Und da fällt mir generell auch ein, dass ja sowieso Jahren auch ein bisschen, ein klitzekleines bisschen ja noch geschwächt ist von unseren letzten Aktionen, die wir hier gestartet haben. Ebenso ja auch noch die letzten Aktionen mit Dillok, die waren ja auch nicht gerade so gut. Muss man so leider sagen. Tja, muss man so leider sagen, die letzten Aktionen, die wir gestartet haben, die haben sich wirklich ein bisschen hier in die Länge gezogen. Denn in den letzten beiden sondern in den letzten beiden Parts, haben wir hier so einiges ja erlebt. In Sumeru. Vor allem aber Folgendes, dass wir uns im letzten Part auf die Suche nach der gefiederten Pilzbestie begaben. Wo wir natürlich ja auch überall quasi hier in Sumeru mal vorbeikamen. Einmal, in ein Wassergebiet, wo wir, das Wasser noch nicht richtig ablassen konnten. Oder ich besser gesagt den Schalter sicherlich dafür nicht entdeckt habe. Obwohl er vielleicht sicherlich in der Nähe ist. Darüber hinaus haben wir noch eine Verwelkung bekämpft. Das ging ja, um einiges einfacher. Und dann ja, wie gesagt, die Pilzbestie. Erstmal mussten wir den Eingang finden. Dann mussten wir sie auf jeden Fall besiegen. Dann, mussten wir hier unten auch noch an ein Lager der Fatui vorbei. Also, um genau zu sein, sind wir, hier hochgeklettert. Zu diesem Teleporter hier. Und ja, ansonsten haben wir auch noch einiges anderes im Part davor erlebt. Wir haben den Fluxblitzbaum besiegt. Wir haben, wie schon gesagt, im letzten Part die gefiederte Pilzbestie erledigt. Goldbrigade Wüstenwasser war, im Zusammenhang mit dem Fluxblitzbaum uns über den Weg gelaufen. Dann das Sichtbare und Unsichtbare. Ja, auch in der Sache mit dem Fluxblitzbaum. Ebenso, auch wie die Siegel der Steinsäulen. Und ja, aktiviert und verdorrt. Keine Ahnung. Keine Ahnung. Anscheinend habe ich da auch irgendwas gemacht, aber hab's nicht mitgekriegt. Da habe ich es einfach nicht mitgekriegt. Naja, auf jeden Fall, Fluxblitzbaum wurde besiegt. Die gefiederte Pilzbestie ebenfalls. Wir haben in 2 Parts das gemacht, was ich erledigen wollte, eigentlich in einem Part. Und ja, jetzt... Ach ja, außerdem haben wir während des Parts mit dem Fluxblitzbaum hier auch noch die Abschlusssequenz der Schnitzereien der Kindlichkeit dann auch nochmal erlebt. So, und jetzt ist es mal wieder an der Zeit, dass wir mit der Hauptstory weitermachen. Verloren und im Tumult verborgen. Nachdem ihr erfahren habt, dass die der Akademie geraubte Sache möglicherweise mit der Gottheit zusammenhängt, reisen Palmer und du nach Ormos. Tja, und nach Ormos geht es jetzt, zurück. Ist aber immer noch ein bisschen schwer vorstellbar, dass dieses Gebiet hier... Nein, das Gebiet hier ist gar was anderes. Es hat mit der Wüste nichts zu tun. Aber als wir, hier versucht haben, den Teleporter zu aktivieren... wartet mal, vielleicht waren wir, hier in der Nähe des Obwohl, da muss das Wüstengebiet ja hier so groß sein oder irgendwie hier noch angrenzen. Dann scheint das, hier doch ein ganz anderes Gebiet zu sein, als was ich ursprünglich dachte. Hätte mich jetzt auch ein bisschen gewundert. Hätte mich auch jetzt ein bisschen gewundert, wenn man ja sagt, wirklich nicht in dieses, naja, ausgegraute Gebiet reisen kann. Da habe ich dann also wirklich eine klitzekleine Sache mal wieder verkehrt erkannt. Ja, die Wüste wird erst mit Version 3.1 betretbar sein. Und das andere da, wo eine weitere Statue der 7 hier vorhanden ist, in der Nähe von Ormos, das ist also ein komplett anderes Gebiet. Und hat mit der Wüste so gut wie gar nichts am Hut. Würde ich mal behaupten. Und wird dann, wohl höchstwahrscheinlich auch so sein. So, wir haben, noch 8 weitere Dendro-Archons eingesammelt. Gut. Also schön, das hat sich jetzt hier erstmal so im Großen und Ganzen erledigt. Wir haben uns jetzt erstmal wieder erfrischt. Und ja, das hätte mir doch gleich auch klar sein müssen, dass dieses Gebiet nichts mit der Wüste zu tun hat. Weil ansonsten würde es hier nicht diese Event-Quest geben. Aber gut, das Ganze hat mich im letzten Part auch ein bisschen irritiert. Dann haben wir hier angrenzend an Ormos noch irgendetwas anderes. Also, wir haben quasi eine Art Pilzwald gesehen. Wir haben dann ebenso ja auch eine verdorrte Wüste entdeckt. Im Grunde genommen ist es eigentlich ja nichts Überraschendes. So, Obsthändlerin. Frisches Obst und Gemüse, allererste Güte. Gut, ich möchte einige kaufen. Nur ein paar, dann schenke ich sie dir. Ich will kein Geld damit verdienen, also nimm sie. Was? Ach richtig, wenn du schon so einige wenige gekauft hast, dann isst sie schnell auf, solange sie frisch sind. Na gut, wir haben ein paar Pfirsiche geschenkt bekommen. So, und nun erst einmal, wie gelangen wir jetzt zur gestohlenen Sache? Wie werden wir jetzt die Storyline noch ein bisschen weiter fortführen? Erstmal, wenn wir natürlich den Teleporter aktiviert haben, geht's weiter. Und ich würde einfach jetzt mal sagen, das hier ist der Schwarzmarkt. Der Schwarzmarkt von Ormos, wo sicherlich allerhand gestohlene Sachen verkauft werden. Die Teppiche hier sind sicherlich auch gestohlen. Oder auf jeden Fall schon eine ganze Weile nicht mehr verkauft worden. Den Spinnweben da oben nachzuurteilen. Na, sei es drum. Wir haben das Ziel unserer Reise jetzt erreicht. Ob wir hier eigentlich auf Dori treffen werden?
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with pride and experience.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my business.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the core of 30 care? And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Guess that's only to be expected for the largest port in Sumeru. Maybe it's because of what Dia told us earlier, but Paimon can't seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds. Ooh. let's get our bearings so we can start looking for leads. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, we don't have much else to go on. Osvan told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any research facilities in Port Ormos. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and asking about the stolen item?
Das könnte der Kern der Sache sein.
Given all the people that come through here every day, if there's any information to be found, Paimon bets we could find it in the market. Let's ask around and see what we come up with.
Tja, hören wir uns erstmal hier um. So, fragt die Händler an der Straße nach Informationen. Na gut. Hallihallo, hallöle. Elham, Inhaberin der Schneiderei. Haben Sie Informationen über eine gestohlene Ware?
How can I help you too?
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the Academia ever come to Port Ormos?
Ja, hinter uns. Sieht man doch gerade. Die Leute, die grün gekleidet sind.
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the Academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the Academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the Academia. Ah, you see over there? Those are students from the Academia.
Ja, sie machen einen ernsten
They've been
Eindruck.
looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
Na gut, belauschen wir ein paar Studenten. Aus sicherer Entfernung.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Akhmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the Academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ein El Akhmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 Mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon. Is knowledge something people just buy and sell like that?
Wirklich verdächtig.
So, what's your plan?
Tja, ich würde mal sagen, versuchen wir mit dem von der Goldbrigade zu sprechen.
Didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 Mora. Have you lost your mind?
Naja, falls sie versuchen, uns zu betrügen, werde ich ihnen nicht vergeben.
All right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of Mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Ja, versuchen wir es halt mal. Wie viel Mora habe ich jetzt überhaupt auf mein Konto drauf? Mal sehen. Mora. Wo haben wir jetzt unser Mora hier? Eigentlich hatten wir doch hier immer irgendwo mal eine Auflistung unseres Moras gehabt. Wieso ist dann jetzt hier nix? Ah, ich Idiot, ich habe das übersehen da unten. Warte, falscher Knopf. Was soll das denn jetzt? Also nochmal, falscher Knopf war das eben. Unten links. Also, wir haben 9.550.446 Mora. Also, die Informationen können wir uns so oder so leisten. Kein Problem, aber wo befindet sich jetzt hier Jafars Taverne? Ach, gleich wieder mal im Hafen. Eine sehr gute Information. Die auf alle Fälle gratis ist. Und 15.000 Mora haben wir jetzt unterwegs ja sowieso wieder gefunden. Und ich glaube, ich laufe jetzt hier in die falsche Richtung. Ja, in Hafen. Der Hafen ist ja hier. Und jetzt wissen wir dann sowieso erst auch, was Jafar so getrieben hat nach Aladdin 1, 2. Und dann sagt sowieso nach den Kingdom Hearts Spielen. Er hat hier in Sumeru, in einer komplett anderen Welt, eine Taverne eröffnet.
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Naja, auch Bösewichte müssen irgendwie in späteren Jahren ihr Geld verdienen oder die Rente aufbessern. Nachdem ihr euch hingesetzt und eine Weile gewartet habt...
Please take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of Mora this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick Mora?
Yeah, with Boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is the Scarlet King, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Moment, wovon reden Sie?
Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the chance later.
Na gut, fragt die Leute von der Goldbrigade nach Informationen. Hey ihr! Ich verlange nach Informationen! Tarek!
Huh? Who are you? What do you want?
Ich bin Student der Akademie.
What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos?
Ich möchte etwas über die Sache erfahren.
Well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Ja, übergib 500.000 Mora.
Paimon can't
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Well, what are you waiting for?
Ich hätte da noch eine kleine Frage.
Wait, we heard you mention the Scarlet King just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're, archaeology students!
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Akademie to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. The Scarlet King isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the Scarlet King.
Kannst du das mit dem Orakel etwas erläutern?
I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged Academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you. Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the Mora you're worth.
Hey! Shut it, Alhaitham! What are you playing at, trying to ruin our business like this,
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the Academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Teyvat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Ein netter Kerl.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our mora back, but sent the Amorites running too! Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions.
Ja, er scheint der Sack wirklich das Wissen zu besitzen. Ja, er scheint der Sack wirklich das Wissen zu besitzen, nach dem wir suchen.
Wait up! It's Alhaitham, right?
What do you want?
Vielen Dank für deine Hilfe.
Thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have something to ask you about! Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two? And why are you inquiring about that?
Wird zwar jetzt sicherlich nicht ziehen, aber ich bin Student der Akademie.
Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Naja, vielleicht können wir über die von dir genannte Bedingung reden.
Oh, yeah! He's really strong. Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
We know it's connected to the Akademia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too. What else?
Dass sie eine Art Wissen ist.
Almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh?
Oh.
Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents.
Wirklich jeder?
Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
Na, ich hab's doch gewusst. Akasha gibt nur das Wissen preis, was man auch erhalten soll. Von Akasha. Und von der Akademie von Sumeru. Wie ich es schon gesagt habe.
That's amazing.
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the Academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless Academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up.
Okay. Ich habe gehört, vor kurzem ist etwas der Akademie geraubt worden.
So that's your true objective.
Ja, ich möchte etwas darüber erfahren.
Current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer.
Was wäre die dazu nötige Bedingung?
You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people.
Na gut, dann gehen wir halt noch mal kurz um die Ecke. Dann sind wir jetzt ein bisschen ungestörter hier.
Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with something.
Und was muss
I
ich
need you to
tun?
find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant.
Okay, dann beginnen wir also als nächstes die Suche nach Dory.
Peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules. She often has quality goods in stock. Some say that as long as there is profit to be made, there is nothing she won't dare to sell. She's guarded against people from the Academia because most of her wares don't comply with Academia regulations. I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it soon became clear that they had no intention of letting me get any further. Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust. This is my condition for further collaboration.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privileges.
Fine. So how do we go about doing this?
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you the informant's address and their contact password. Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have up her sleeve. You'll have to improvise.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for mora and a shrewd eye for wares, and she only likes customers who she deems to have good taste. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest quality wares and earn her approval.
But we only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time. We don't know how to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad. Is that something we can learn quickly?
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight?
Ja, den beherrsche ich aus dem FF.
That's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue.
Okay, automatisch abspielen, wieder starten. Und dann beginnt die Suche nach Dory.
Tell me, can you detect any difference in their quality?
Okay, erstmal müssen wir ein bisschen Qualitätsprüfung machen.
They look the same to Paimon.
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
Oh, die eine strahlt kräftiger Energie aus. Die linke leuchtet etwas
Rumor has it
stärker.
that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight. That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in contemporary times, so those capsules are of little value. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning Dory's trust.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the mora for purchasing canned knowledge. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any mora left over, just keep it. Oh, and be
Da
sure to
freut sich
exercise some
Paimon.
caution. There have been Matra present in Port Ormos lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Matra?
They belong to the Academia's regulatory body. They also handle cases of illegal canned knowledge transactions. Like I said, the Academia has banned both their trade and possession. The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out, now's the time.
Ja, ich helfe dir, Dory
Okay,
zu finden.
Then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the Wikela Funduk. We'll have an open discussion then.